Hello beautiful people, welcome back. I'm Anna and today I'm talking to you guys about the wedding venues we visited, pros and cons of each, and just what we liked, what we didn't like, in case that you yourself are looking for wedding venues, or maybe you just enjoy watching videos about weddings, or maybe you just follow me and you like to partake in my wedding planning process. So let's jump right in. I'm not gonna mention any names because we do wanna keep certain level of privacy because one of these could be the venue we end up getting married in, so I don't want to give too much away and have some random person of the internet that doesn't actually know me show up at my wedding. I'm not looking for that here, so I'm just gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and however many. So venue number 1 was the very first venue we ever saw, and we weren't impressed. This venue was located in a golf course, and when you hear golf course, you think green areas, you think lots of like pretty places outside to get married in. And ideally what we want is an outdoor ceremony indoor reception. So I was really looking forward to the outdoor ceremony space, and they didn't really have that. I think I have a video, I may put it up here. They didn't really have an outdoor ceremony area. They had kind of like a brick patio with a really short aisle. I would have to come through this side. So it was like a round building, and then out on the outside of the round building, the patio. And the patio was like pretty small, but it fit 120 people, which is kind of what we're expecting with our wedding. But I would have to come in around this side of this round building and then walk to the aisle, which would be like maybe 20 feet. I'm gonna be very blunt and honest with you guys. If I wanted a brick patio, I'd do it anywhere else. I have a brick patio at home. I'm not looking to get married in my backyard, even though that's totally okay. Backyard weddings are very popular, just not my style. And they also had like an outdoor area for the reception, and we were also not in love with that either. The indoor wasn't bad, but I feel like the outdoor ceremony space just killed it for me. Like that was not even an option in my book after we left. So now on to number 2. I loved their outdoor spaces. I think their outdoor space was absolutely gorgeous. They were like an inn bed and breakfast type of area, and they're just beautiful. They have the outdoor ceremony space and how to get it ready down to the T. I would have gotten married there if the ceremony was the only place we were looking for. But the reception area, and this is where you start realizing and start catching up that I'm a broadzilla. Like, I know it. I feel awful that other people will have to deal with me for the next 12 months or however long it takes, because we haven't set a date yet. But I just know I would not have been able to contain my feelings about their carpets. Outdoor ceremony space was beautiful. Indoor reception space was also beautiful until you looked down. They had the worst carpet I've ever seen. And I may or may not have some footage of that. I'm gonna try to find that and insert it here. It looked like a kilt, with like plaid green and blue, I wanna say. Well, it could have worked. It could have been an option, and it is still an option for us, but it's not our favorite. One of the rooms has like a floor to ceiling window that overlooks like the area with all the horses. And mind you, I know some people will judge me for this. I know some people will probably find this absolutely beautiful or super cool, or I'm not really a fan of that idea. I feel like a big part of me would be afraid that a horse would be going to the bathroom in the back of my first dance photos. The third venue, I've been to the building before. It was a museum. It's absolutely beautiful museum. So I really had my hopes up for this one. I really thought this would be an amazing venue. We go in, we look at the venue, we meet with the events coordinator, and she lets me know the area that we would be using for the wedding. It was a big empty gray room, and it just made me so sad because I've seen the rest of the museum and it looks nothing like that room. So it just like, it kind of crushed my spirit a little bit. Wildly expensive for the entire room. They can give you a third, or they can give you the whole room. For the size of a guest list, just a third of the room would have been enough. But if you really wanted to get kind of like the best area of the room, which would be like the center, you had to rent the entire space. And the entire space, I think, holds up to like 2,000 people, if I remember correctly. And we only have 120, so it just didn't make sense for us. Also, there were just a lot of like little restrictions because it's a museum. You're gonna have banners in the back reflecting what exhibits are taking place during that month, etc. And you have obviously no control over that, and I don't expect to have control over that. But their outdoor area was a dream. I would have gotten married there yesterday. That was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Had really, really big steps leading up to the museum. And it was all marble, and It was absolutely gorgeous. There was a fountain. It was a dream. With that said, on to venue number 4. And venue number 4 is one that we are really torn on because we love it. We are in love with this venue. But it's definitely more expensive than all of the other venues we've toured. It's absolutely gorgeous. Outdoor ceremony space, check. Indoor ceremony space, check. In case it rains, something you have to be very mindful of when you're planning on having an outdoor ceremony is to make sure you have a plan B in case it rains. And at all of the places that we visited so far, the plan B wasn't great. I know I would have been really bummed out if we had booked a place because of the outdoor ceremony space and then it started raining and we had to move to an indoor ceremony space and it wouldn't have looked as I wanted to. This was not a concern with this venue because they had like beautiful indoor spaces as well. So we obviously do have a budget that we're trying to stick to, and I don't know if it would have worked out with our budget without sacrificing other areas. So that's what kind of a conversation we're still having, just deciding whether we want to go for that or not. But it was right now our top option. It's our favorite, both of our favorites. Something that was really important to us was ending the night as late as possible. This is the venue that offers the latest like checkout time for you and your guests, so you can actually leave at like 12:30. All the other places were like 12, 11, 11:30. So this one's 12:30, which is the latest we can do. So after 12:30, you can do an after party somewhere else or something, but 12:30 is like very reasonable for a wedding to end. It's so sad because it's the most expensive one, but we are in love. And I'm not gonna give you guys a lot of details on this one just in case we book it, because it is absolutely gorgeous and it's the only one that I was looking at the area of the ceremony and the woman's like explaining to us how they would set the chairs, etc. And I just started tearing up. Like, it's the only one that has done that to me, and I don't know. I just don't know if realistically it makes sense for our budget. So we're trying to be mindful of that as well. But on to number 5. Number 5, I love their ceremony space. It's right on the water. It's absolutely beautiful. And I would have a great space to get ready with my bridesmaids in. And the indoor space is beautiful. And then the bummer of this one is they don't really have a reception hall. They have a tent. And I've seen beautiful weddings take place in tented spaces. It's just not what we're envisioning. We're not really trying to have a tent wedding. So this one's kind of not an option for us because we don't want a tent. Also, we're looking to have a summer wedding next year, so it could potentially get really hot in the tent during summer, and AC was an added cost that was insanely expensive as well to put AC in the tent. So I don't know, I feel like realistically looking at the cost, it wouldn't be just the room fee, it would be the room fee plus AC. The tent was a no-no. On to number 6. And number 6 is one that we saw this morning. We saw a really similar one before, which was the one we fell in love with. So we had high hopes for this one. We're hoping this could be kind of like the cheaper version of the one that is a little bit out of our price range. And it kind of fell flat. It's beautiful space, but the space they actually give you is non-exclusive. This is a facility that's open to the public a lot of the time, meaning they don't rope off any area for you or anything just because you're renting it. So there could be random people walking in the back of my ceremony, which I'm not in love with. Like, if I'm paying thousands of dollars to reserve a space, they should at least like rope it off for the time that the ceremony is taking place, and that's not something they offer. So maybe that sounds really entitled to you, and that's totally okay. I just feel like, I don't know, I don't want to take the risk of random people walking down my aisle. These are all of the venues we've looked at so far. Thank you guys so much for kind of being my outlet to vent to you guys about wedding planning stress. I feel like if you do like this type of videos about the wedding, I'm more than happy to share a few more of them. I did go dress shopping, but obviously I'm not sharing that until after the wedding because I have my dress and I don't want Brooke to see it. We're planning between June and August of next year, so sometime in the summer of next year we're getting married. So and the reason we are being so open with the date is in case we do see a venue that we fall in love with and that is in a budget and they have a specific date available but maybe not other dates, so that we have the ability to pick that date. Brooke and I had just started dating when I made my first video ever in 2017, so it just warms my heart that you guys, our relationship has kind of grown with you guys too. I want to share more about that with you guys. I finished my bridesmaid boxes that I showed in a different video, and I feel like I want to show them to you guys before I ship them to the girls. So thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, love you all, have a wonderful week. Like and subscribe to enjoy the video. It really does help my channel do better. Stay safe. Mwah.